Hello, it's Gracie. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel. It's laundry day. Today I'm going to be talking about do I think all of my AP classes were worth it, what I got out of them now that I've been in college for a semester and kind of ironed out what they really meant in the long term. I'll just give like a really quick overview of what I took. I'm only going to list the ones that had scores that resulted in any kind of credit, and I'm also going to say the score because the score definitely depends on the type of credit you get, so I think that's important. I took AP World History, got a 3. Took AP Language and Composition, got a 4. I took Calculus, AB, got a 4. Took AP Macroeconomics, got a 4 on that. Took AP US Government and Politics, got a 4. And I took AP Psych, got a 5 on that, and I took AP Bio and got a 5 on that. Before I actually talk about what those turn into credit-wise and what they mean, I want to talk about a few other things, other benefits. I do really feel like taking AP classes really prepared me for college. This first semester has honestly been easier than my senior year. In high school, I don't know, junior year maybe, about the same. So I didn't feel like I showed up here and it was like scaled up. And those classes also really teach you the importance of tests, I guess, and like how to be a good test taker because it is a skill. So that really helped. I actually mentioned AP Lang in that, but I don't think I technically got credit for that because on the SAT I ended up getting a score in the English writing section that took me out of the class the AP credit even counted for, but the fact is I would not have gotten a score that high had I not taken AP Lang, so that was still really important and why I still mentioned it. Another benefit is it really throws you into an in-depth course that gives you an idea of like, do you like this, do you not like this? I took AP Bio my senior year. I wasn't even originally going to take it, and that turned out to be really important because although I'm going to have to retake bio here for pre-med requirements, I figured out that I really don't like the part of biology that is associated with like, you know, non-human things. I spent 3 hours taking notes on how fungus reproduces and decided So instead of just signing up to be a bio major when I got here, I signed up to be a human bio major. And a lot of people, when they're going in as freshmen, they don't really know the like detailed differences between certain majors. There's a lot of majors here, and I've myself have been looking at my options since I've been here, but that major ended up actually being really a good fit for me after I did more research when I got here. So that really helped. Also, I do want to talk about how it affects your class standing. Some people are like, oh, I kind of want to go in to college as a sophomore, or some people even come in as a credit hour junior, which is crazy to me. I came in with 32 credit hours, 20 of that being AP, and once you hit 30, that's when you're technically count as a credit hour sophomore. This will probably be different based off of different universities, but here I'm not really called a sophomore in most situations, which is actually a really good benefit because that means that any scholarship programs I'm for, they count for 4 years. They don't count for 3 because my freshman year is gone or any sort of situation. So in that stance, you don't really want to be counted as something higher because you want the benefits of being a freshman, and meaning you get all 4 years funded in that stance. Also, freshmen are eligible for certain programs. So like for example, I'm going to be taking an intro to research class that's only available for first year students. So I don't want to be counted as a second year student for that because then I want to have access to programs like that really are built to help freshmen. Your standing is how many years you've been there. However, having more credit hours than perhaps some of the people in my own grade actually gave me access to register for next semester's classes ahead of people who had less credit hours. They do it by credit hour, and that was a really nice benefit because I got into like the 9 a.m.s I wanted. I got my schedule the way I wanted it really quickly, sometimes 10 days even before other people in my own class. But now that I've talked about that kind of benefit, I will get into the nitty-gritty credit hour bit. First, I want to talk about the credit hours that I technically have and are counted for that 20 or 32 credit hour standing, but don't actually really contribute to anything. And that's my 3 on the AP World History exam. It shows up as a 100 undistributed credit, which does bump up my credit hours technically, but it doesn't fulfill any requirements because of that. If I had scored higher, then it would have, but I didn't. Sucks. It's fine. Next, I'm going to talk about kind of like US government and macroeconomics kind of combined. For us, we have to have at least like 2 courses in like social, historical. Those are our S&H credits. Then we have to have 2 in like the arts and humanities, our A&H credits, and then we also have to have 2 in like the natural sciences and mathematics. Those 2 courses actually completely fulfilled my social and historical credits, which is really nice. My like natural mathematical sciences, those are completely covered by like my major, obviously, so like I don't really have to worry about those. So now all I have to really worry about of general ed is my A&H credits. Then for psychology, that's really cool because it takes me out of intro to psych, and I do have to take like some kind of psychology for medical school. I would honestly want to take some kind of psychology anyway, but I really do like psychology, and because of that, and because I don't have a ton of time to take classes that I just want to while I'm here because of like pre-med requirements, having that basis course done, and so I can have my AP credit act as a prereq for the higher up psych classes is really nice, because then I can just like pick one that sounds super interesting to me rather than just going over the basics again. And I really meant to like start with that at the beginning, as my experience with how these credits transfer over is like it's going to be completely different for every kind of major. It's going to be different if you're pre-something, so pre-graduate school, I guess, or pre-PA, pre-PT, whatever. But so me being pre-med, it definitely affects how these transfer over, because like AP Bio, that would be really amazing for like my major, because then it would mean I won't have to take that course. I just go to like 200 and whatever, and then I'm done with like my bio requirements. So that would be really cool, and it's still cool because I got that basis, but those credits don't really hold the same significance as they would for someone who's not pre-med, because I will have to retake that course no matter what as a requirement. So I don't know what it's like for other programs. Maybe if you were like studying politics or something, they wouldn't want you to skip out using like US Gov credit. So it's gonna depend on the program. And one class like that is my calculus credit. So I don't technically have any calc requirements for my major. Some majors do. However, our mathematical modeling requirement for general ed requires either finite or calc. And because I have that calc credit, I'm completely out of that. The only thing I have to take mathematics-wise is statistics for my major, which is really, really, really nice. However, if you are in a different major that requires over 1 year of calc, it's going to get a little dicier, because I know at least here, you're not allowed to use your calculator, and calc blows my mind, literally. So even if you have the first year credit of calc, they really recommend you retake calc 1 before you go to calc 2, because if you go into calc 2 all the way, you're going to be expected to like switch over to not doing it with a calculator. So if you need to get used to doing it without a calculator, they still recommend you go through calc 1. So that's kind of a difference, but for me, taking and having that calculus credit was so nice. That's how all of my credit kind of transferred over from the AP exams. Next, I want to talk about things like classes I wish I would have taken, or things I wish I would have gotten out of it, which is, I think I only have one thing really, and that's, I kind of wish I took AP chemistry, because here many freshmen go straight into like C117/127, but you do have to be able to pass like a test to like filter you in, and if I had taken that, I would have had a better basis of understanding to do that. However, now I took like an intro class, like 103 this semester, and it kind of makes me feel like I'm behind everyone because I didn't take that. Unfortunately, I feel like you don't really know that until you come to college and think like, oh, this class would have helped me on this placement exam, blah 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 blah, even if you would have not necessarily gotten credit for the course in the first place. I think if you have a college you're pretty seriously interested in going to, you can look to see what placement exams they do have and what classes that would help with. Like we have a placement exam for math, so taking an AP class, even if I hadn't gotten that 4, I would have placed really high, so I would have been able to just go into the calc class and get that done with. I wouldn't have had to take like a lower level and then gotten into calc. Chemistry, you would have been, if I had taken that, I would have just been able to get into the higher level one. Language courses, I didn't take any AP languages, but we also have placement tests for languages, so that taking those classes, even if you didn't get the credit, would have helped you place higher. It's kind of stuff like that. So it just depends on the institution's placement exams. I would do research into that if you have one that you're really interested in. However, if you have a ton, that's a lot of time to kind of take and put your high school schedule around all of those schools when you don't know where you're going to go yet. I don't think that not taking that one class that I would have taken with what I know now really will be a huge detriment to like my education here, you know? It's fine. So if it turns out that way, you're okay. It's just my one regret, I guess. Really, overall, I think these all were worth it. Even the ones that didn't give me like super useful credit prepared me in some way. AP Lang prepared me to do well on the SAT, which is really important. Even AP World History that I got a 3 on, it was my first one sophomore year and I hadn't taken an exam before, so it really showed me what that class was like so I could do better in the future, which is really nice. So I don't regret any of these, and I definitely think it's worth it. For me, I really always liked a challenge. That's why I signed up for so many AP classes that weren't even necessarily in my area of study, and taking those ended up being really helpful. That's it. If you have any questions, you can ask them below. If you want to, you can like this video and you can also subscribe to me. Thank you. Bye.